I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, AfterBuzz TV Drag Race fans. I am your host, 123 Jackie B. We are here to discuss Season 12, Episode 10, the fan makeover episode. We all love a good makeover episode. With me, as always, Jayla, Roxx.
Yes, speaking of fan makeovers, do you like my new look?
We love it.
And the nails.
And the nails.
Hey.
The nails are gorgeous.
Right, and the new teeth. Okay, we can keep going.
And Mark J. Freeman, aka Lorraine Love.
Hello, it's going to take a lot of cement to make this over.
And Ollie Drennan with the new hair.
Yes. I'm so excited to talk to you guys today. My favorite time of the week, always.
I know.
It's so nice to have. I know that fans have been saying it's been nice that we've kept up the show, but it's also nice for us to talk to you guys and talk to our friends. So thank you guys for tuning in live. As always, we have in the chat room, oh my gosh, there's so many people. Chucky Chuck, Todd K, Rihanna,
Yes.
Theo. Thank you guys so much for joining us live. We love kikiing with you. We love seeing your comments. And if you make a comment on iTunes or on YouTube, you could be fan of the week. So,
which is a very worthy place to be, girl.
It is. So this episode is super fans who think they're just coming in for an audience, like to be in the audience of a number, are actually going to get makeovers. And then Jaida, because she won the last episode, is chosen to pair everybody up. And I think she did a great job. I kind of like, when I was watching this episode, I kind of wondered if they had already like known stuff beforehand or kind of knew who they were going to pair them with beforehand. Cause I felt like it was too perfect almost, like not that I want people to not get along, but the amount of things that people seem to have in common with each other, I was like, wow, I feel like this was like a pre-casted kind of thing. Like maybe they would ask you like certain questions or ask you who your favorite drag queens were from past seasons or something like that. So I always kind of wonder about that. Jaida was paired with Bethany, Crystal with Grace, Sherry with Janet the Planet, Gigi with Shay, and then Jacque with Tiffany. So what were your initial thoughts on the episode?
I feel like I said in the other one, I thought this was very like Make-A-Wish. It made me so like, why are you laughing?
I laugh at everything you say because you make me smile.
Oh, thank you.
It's because Jayla's so cute when she says stuff.
I know, so it's not shady. Okay, yeah. I really mean it. So I thought it was very like heartwarming to see, because we see all of these fans at DragCon, and they were lining up to take pictures in the workroom. So just having that experience at DragCon, imagine what they were feeling throughout this whole like process, you know. So it was one of these like, I would never forget this in life type moments, and I feel like they really deserved it, and it was great.
Yeah, it was so heartwarming, like getting to know each one of the people, like the girls, like they're allies. And I hated seeing like on social media, like they got a lot of flack because, oh, why are women being brought in to be made over? And I'm like, because women can do drag too. Like a lot of gays hate on women constantly and they want women to stay out of drag. So it's really unfortunate that still happens. And it just reminds me of what Jayla said like last week about how there's so much like segregation within like the queer community. So that just always stuck with me, and it's so true. And just like, these are real allies. These are the women out there going to drag even before Drag Race, you know, especially Janet the Planet. And like, these are women probably in the front row tipping, you know, the queens, where some of the gays don't even tip. So I was here for this episode.
Shade button.
I was here. I love this episode. And I even tweeted, like, this was my favorite makeover episode ever.
Yes.
I think one of the best parts for me, which kind of answers all of this that we're talking about, is when Grace comes out with Crystal on the main stage for the first time, and Crystal comments on how excited she is to be there, and it reminds Crystal how excited she is to be there. And I do think, it really made me think about what we do and what the fans do with the show. And we get so critical and nitpicky, and I want this one to win. And it's so competitive, but it is so exciting for all of them to be there. And it literally, like, I don't know that I ever smiled throughout an episode as much as I did with this one. It was just so good to see well-deserved, not that well-deserving people haven't had makeovers before, but it was just like, we're going to give something back to you guys for all the love you give us. And it was just, you could just see the excitement. And I don't think didn't even matter if they didn't dress well or look well. We were all rooting for every
and they
single
had
one of those
fun.
girls.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what the episode was about. So I guess the whole, like, you know, ultimately the no one being sent home was just one of these like lighter felt moments throughout the season, and it gives people, like the viewers at home, a little bit of hope, you know what I mean? So especially and during this time now where we're all just like, you know, literally stuck at home. So
it's like, yay, we get another week of Drag Race. And also the production's probably like, they're probably like, okay, we have more time to figure out what we're doing for the finale and reunion and whatnot. So we'll see how everything works out in the end.
I always love the makeover episodes. So I'm always excited. And you know what, I didn't mind that there were women this time, because they've had, you know, sometimes they have women who are like, you know, they've had people who are like siblings or mothers or whatever. And then sometimes they, you know, like there was one episode where they did vets, one episode where wrestlers, you know, so they've done different types of people in the past. And I think, you know, Jaida said this in Untucked, where she was saying that the fans, we wouldn't be here without them. Like they're the lifeblood of the show. And, you know, Ollie, to your point, a lot of the fans of the show are women. So, you know, I think that people would have felt that some people were at an advantage or not at an advantage if they had like mixed it up, or maybe had people on who maybe were better with makeup or not as good with makeup. I think they really tried to get people who didn't seem to have any drag experience whatsoever, and people who were just like truly fans of the show, because there are fans who are like budding drag queens. And I think that would have been unfair to have someone on there who's maybe has painted before and maybe knows how to walk or has had some sort of lip syncing experience. I do think that would have been a little bit unfair. So I like that they tried to like level the playing field a bit. So
I just find it's a very, very sensitive topic, the fact that we're talking about this, because you know, like social media had a lot to say about, you know, having cisgender women on the show when they're not allowed to audition. And, you know, so people felt that it was a slap in the face. Some people thought that this episode was. And so it's a spectrum like perspective, I guess. But I don't know, you know, why. You know, maybe we'll get there.
But I feel like, Jaida, you said in the past, and this I actually agree with, because I used to say, why don't we have, not necessarily cisgender women, but why don't we have drag kings on the show? You know, because there are some really incredible drag kings out there. And I know that they've been on other shows, but Drag Race is so huge that I feel like, okay, well, maybe RuPaul can make a different show for drag kings that airs like after Drag Race or something like that, you know?
But then it's going to oversaturate an oversaturated market.
Yeah.
Because we got Celebrity Drag Race, we got All Stars, we got Dragula, we got this, we got that, and it's just going to be like, okay, so season 1 probably won't do as well. You know what I mean? And then, so I feel like, I don't know, just croak. You know what I mean? Just like, if you want it all to be over, just croak and just like let everybody just feel bad for you. You know what I mean?
Well, I was gonna say, I think a lot of it is, and this is maybe the problem, is that I don't know that this was ever stated when the show began. And is it about drag queens and drag performers in general? Or is the show about transforming men who live as men into women who perform as women? Like, you know what I mean? Like if they had specifically said, I'm not picking sides, I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying that if they were more specific in the beginning, I don't think we would be, like it depends what the competition is about. If it's a competition about anybody who does drag and, you know, makes money doing drag, then yes, I agree that everybody should be included. But if the idea of the show is that it's men who live as men and perform as women, then there's your answer. You know what I mean?
But that's what RuPaul's Drag Race is about.
Right. And I think that, I do think that that's what it is, whether you like that or not. That's, I think, what the idea of the show was. It was never stated. It's not in an article anywhere that this is what the show is about. But I think that that is what it's about. Again, not taking sides, not saying one is better than the other, and there can't be good transgender queens, there can't be great women queens, and there aren't good drag kings. But we have to remember what the show is about. You know what I mean?
Also there's also been queens like Gia Gunn on All Stars. There's been Peppermint. There's been Monica Beverly Hills. But granted, like some of them have actually came out on the show. So it's definitely like a.
And then some of them, you know, some of them like didn't say they were transgender until after the show because they didn't feel comfortable. You know,
and a lot of them.
Let's move on. Let's move on. We are skating on thin ice here, girl. Yeah. Let's move on.
That's another podcast.
Right.
So what did you guys think of the pairings? I thought that the pairings were perfect. I like I said in the beginning, Jayla? It's like I thought maybe.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat.
No, she's getting distracted. Michelle massages this
like, you know, like I said in the beginning, I thought maybe they were pre-picked out. They were so well done. And, you know, Jaida makes a mention in Untucked where she was like kind of patting herself on the back, and kudos to her because she did do a great job of pairing them up, I thought. Mm-hmm. So what did you guys think of the individual teams?
Well, I got worried for Miss Jaida because her girl couldn't walk in heels. I was like, oh no, is this the episode that's gonna make or break Jaida? You know, like, because I mean, you want your sister or your daughter to feel very comfortable, and you want them to exude that confidence of a drag entertainer. So, you know, I was really pleasantly surprised at how like it ended for Jaida. So this episode really, to me, possibly kind of solidified our potential winner, but I know that's more prediction wise. But everyone else.
That's a hard prediction.
I don't know. Jaida really, like, she's won 3 challenges, so I think this really like showed the world like, oh, do not sleep on Jaida. Don't forget about Jaida. There's still competition, you know. So I love this episode so much, and everyone else seemed to do really well. And honestly, as a viewer, you wanted to see everyone this week do well because it was the makeover challenge, because of these like incredible women that they had on the show.
Yeah,
I think it also gave Jaida. We saw a different side of Jaida that I don't think we've seen the rest of the season. And I know I personally, watching it, really thought for the first time, wow, she would be a really good like ambassador for Drag Race if she won. Like she's just good. She's good at everything. She's got a personality, whether you like it or not. She's got the charisma, the uniqueness, the nerve, and the talent.
What does that spell, Mark?
I need to find that episode of when I realized what that meant.
Still love it. We have been reviewing for I don't know how many years, and Mark was like, CUNT. Charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
He was today years old.
I literally figured it out on air. Yeah.
The best. Wonderful moments. I actually liked that Ru went through the workroom and talked with each team, because normally, now that we whittled it down to 6, normally you only get to see one here or there. And I was kind of like wondering, well, what are they going to do with Sherry Pie, you know? And I'm glad that they gave Janet the Planet some airtime, even though Sherry Pie had been like disqualified.
Yeah. It's okay. I feel for Janet the Planet because she didn't have, like, I don't want people sending her hate because, like, she obviously didn't know these things.
Right.
But no, like, I feel like these women are going to go to work when quarantine lets out and let everybody know at lunch that they met RuPaul, honey. And I feel like that's what it was about. You know what I mean? It was all about giving these people the experience because it's a worthy place to be, I guess.
And like someone like Nicole, Heidi's partner, you just like got emotional hearing her story. Like this was also an emotional like week for Drag Race because also Celebrity Drag Race. I was like tearing up there. Let's stay tuned for that after show. But you know, it sucks being bullied for the way you are, whether it's the way you look, whether you're too fat, too skinny, or just something about you that you're different. You like this, you like that, and people will like prey on you. And it's sad that people prey on people with the biggest hearts. And like someone like her, she deserved this experience rather than having like someone famous come in, like influencers. I don't want to see influencers get made over. They have the money to do that. Like I want real life people who support drag, you know, like this is why I love this makeover episode. You know, you were rooting for every one of these women to just work that damn runway. I wanted Nicole to eat it up, and she did. She showed some legs. In 20 years, her legs got to see the runway, and it was just really heartwarming.
I was wondering, I was getting, because you know, you kind of wonder what the narrative is going to be. And Mark, I thought of you because I thought maybe this is Crystal's episode to win because they were all like really, like she had put that yellow makeup on Opal, and you were thinking, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And then when she came out later, it was a fully realized concept. And so I had been thinking maybe it was her episode to win, but I guess not.
I wanted her to win. I love Jaida. Jaida did great. Like, yeah. I'm happy she won, but oh my God, like Crystal has not won a challenge. Like, how are you gonna go into the finale and not win a damn challenge? Like, unless you're like Juju B. Like, but like, oh,
I think
man,
you would have gone to the finale without winning any challenges.
Jujubee, but still, did they win the competition? You know, so obviously I'm like Mark, I love Crystal, and I feel like she should have won at least like one challenge this season. And I loved like what
the show's not over yet. Maybe she will.
But no, like I thought, I don't know. I'll wait, I'll save it. Sorry.
Well, I mean, the other thing I thought was oh my gosh, now my train of thought left. Does anybody else have something to say? Because
I think Mark, you don't have any rants this week?
Huh?
You don't have any rants this week?
Not yet.
Oh, well, there we go.
Wait, what topic are we on?
Maybe later. I don't want to jump the gun.
Well, let's bring it to the runway, right?
Okay, now I might have one.
Man, I wish I could
do that now.
Yes, I wish I could remember what I was going to say. Okay, so Mark, let's talk about the runway.
Bring it to the runway, honey.
Do we want to go there? Here, let's start with Heidi, Aphrodite, and Honey Almighty. I thought those names were cute, but I'm still annoyed that they're making her change her name because I think Heidi in Closet is a good name. I think
yes, Heidi, like the N needs to stand for Nina. Get it? Like Heidi, Nina, Closet.
Well, did you see her tweet?
No, what was it?
Yeah. She tweeted a statement, like an official statement, that the N has never stood for Nina and never will. So she's made it clear that it's not.
So people were saying that? I thought I was like an innovative person thinking this in my
house. I think a lot of people have been saying it.
Oh, I'm so original, groundbreaking.
So is she still Heidi in Closet, or is she Heidi Aphrodite? Heidi, what was the other one?
Heidi Aphrodite.
Honey Almighty.
Heidi and Heidi Ho. She was being called Heidi Ho earlier.
And Heidi Hydrates.
Heidi Hydrates.
I think I will say this, I think it's
a storyline
thing to be playing on throughout the episode, like throughout the season. I think it's clever idea that they keep coming up with these different names. Whether she will or will not change it, I don't think it really matters at this point. I do, however, really like Heidi Aphrodite. I really actually like that a lot. So
I think she should just keep it the same because that means she's giving in to what people want her to do.
Yeah.
And she's feel like she's been doing that the whole competition. So like, just
Yeah.
keep it, just keep it hidey in closet. And if they don't like it,
And then she's gonna owe Rue like 25% of her merchandise.
girl, she already do. She
Oh,
already
you
do.
do that.
She already do. She already did it.
So their outfits, I thought they were cute, but I agreed with the judges where I did not see a family resemblance. I
Did you
do
see
wish.
her post?
No, I didn't see her post.
Did anybody see Heidi's post?
Well,
Yeah.
give us the tea.
Because they bring costumes for
Right.
and so she showed her costumes and it just wouldn't have fit Nicole. So she obviously I'm actually really surprised, and I'm glad that Rue actually brought it up, that she didn't like, okay, so you see that dress behind them when Rue comes through the room. So they had already had the conversation and found that dress for Nicole when Rue came through the workroom. I don't think it would have been hard for Heidi to make another dress even similar to that dress that they found for Nicole. That's not a hard silhouette. It basically was exactly what Gigi and Bibi wore, an A-line dress, like that anybody could throw on and anybody would fit. So
Yeah,
I'm glad that they brought it up, because it definitely was on the bottom. I mean, I think everybody agrees with that. But again, I think it was just, we didn't care.
Yeah. I don't know. I would have just been like walked out with those sleeves and just wrapped her around. We would have walked out there together, girl.
Yeah.
Even, I mean,
she could have.
yeah,
done
even
something.
then you could have thought of something that would like tie the two outfits together if you had like accessories or something like that that would tie them in.
I mean, I don't know why they didn't even wear Afro puffs. I know it's, but it's like, it's 70s. Come on, let's put on a big 70s Afro puff and go with, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many disco options that they could have done. She could have used those sleeves and added it to her dress. There were so many options.
Well, we all know that whenever you do disco for a makeover, you're gonna go home. So it's been a cycle. So she was saved, girl.
Then we had Jackie Cox and Little Snacky Cox. I love that name, Little Snacky Cox. I just like died when she said that. I thought it was so funny. They did have a strong family resemblance, but I thought that in general, like Jackie's outfits are so quintessentially Jackie that this did not read Jackie to me, if that makes sense. So I mean, this was one where I was like, oh yeah, there's a strong family resemblance, but I don't feel like it's necessarily Jackie Cox's family. Like it could be anything.
Yeah, her look was just kind of not as exciting as everyone else's. So I felt like that should have been in the bottom. It's like no one looked bad. Like none of these
no one looked bad.
Right, no one looked bad.
But it's like we're picking at straws here. Obviously, there's in this point where everyone did a really good job. Some more well than others, but definitely lackluster. Like I get what you're saying. It wasn't as exciting as like tiramisu or who else? Who did I love this week? Oh my God, I'm forgetting. We'll get that. Crystal, like hello, Jaida. So definitely was at the bottom of the pack this week.
And I mean, if we're gonna give Heidi shit about her makeup skills, we have to talk about Jacque. And I don't know why Jacque is flying under the radar, because I think there have been times where Jacque's makeup was worse than Heidi's. And I think this episode showed that as well. Sorry, I love Jacque.
Well, what exactly is it that is considered wrong or invalid to you?
Well, no, I'm just saying is like everybody's gonna pick on Heidi and they're gonna say, "Oh, your makeup skills aren't that great." Da, da, da. But I look at Jacque and I go, I mean, to me, it's like it's kind of like how I feel when I look back at pictures of myself when I started doing drag. You put on a little bit and you think that it's a lot, and then as you start doing it, you start going, "Oh, I need more. Oh, I need more." And I think Jacque just needs more. I think Jacque just needs more contour. She needs more of everything. I think she's beautiful out of drag, in drag, but especially seeing her girl and how she did her makeup. And then, but it's like, I'm just saying, it's like, we have to be fit, not we, us, but we in general have to be fair that if you're going to give Heidi crap for how her makeup skills and how she does, you have to give it to Jacque too.
If she cannot,
I'm trying to be fair.
If she cannot win the war on her beard,
well, send her on down the Batme girl. We got her.
And the next was Jaida Essence Hall and Jazz Essence Hall, which once you knew that Jaida made those outfits herself, I mean, they're gorgeous, but it's just that extra level of, oh my gosh, not only are these gorgeous, but look at the skill level you have to be able to make these outfits for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably why the judges gave it to Jaida instead of Crystal, just because knowing that
the craftsmanship.
The craftsmanship, yeah.
Yeah.
That look was impeccable. Like Jaida and Jazz, I see why they won. Like it makes sense. Like she got to walk in heels. Like, and shout out to Jazz, Bethany, like for taking her kids to DragCon. So I salute those parents taking them to DragCon. Unfortunately, it's canceled due to COVID-19, but like,
well, it's not canceled. So we have digital DragCon.
That is true. That is true. That news and gossip.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just blown away because I feel like Jaida winning, honestly, you know, even though I would have loved to see Crystal, like it's kind of the epitome of like what this challenge means. You know, you want to also not look good yourself. You want to show the family a resemblance, but you want that person to also embody and transform, like, and you not just look good, but you want both of them to look good and feel like the power of drag, because you know, drag is like your baby and you give life to it, but you also give life to like the fans, which is like what all these women are. And I feel like they all got life from it, especially Jazz. So it was amazing.
I do think that, you know, an important part of drag is like, once you learn your craft, then you take on a drag baby, like you're a mentor to somebody else and you help them learn the craft. So I like, another reason I like seeing these challenges is because then you see what kind of skills someone would have as a drag mom. And I thought like that, like you see Jaida do that and you're like, okay, like phenomenal drag mom. Like she's able to, you know, really like do this other person's makeup, make their costume, lift them up so they like feel confident about their walk and everything.
Yeah, and she mentioned on the show that she like during the workroom, I forget, she said that she like traveled before Drag Race, that she was putting people in drag and being a makeup artist. So she has the experience of this. This was like
she did
challenge.
Silky's makeup for the finale last year.
Nice.
Well, and it's like same with, you know you're gonna be on Drag Race, so you know that you want to submit for Drag Race just as much as you should be practicing impersonations. You should be inviting friends over and doing their makeup. Like that's probably the easiest thing to do in preparation for the show. So if any of you all need your face done, let me know.
I actually won't, but thank you.
How dare you,
press
Jayla?
that shade,
girl? No, man.
Jada's like,
my God.
yeah, I got it covered.
You know what? I think I got it covered, girl. Yes, I have it covered, girl. Literally, I love it.
Next was Crystal Method and Opal Method. I do like how Opal was because if someone was painting my face yellow, I would freak the F out. I would be like, well, I don't understand what your concept is.
I just knew they were doing the Simpsons. I was like, as soon as I saw the yellow, I was like, Simpsons. Yes, come on, Simpsons. And we didn't, and I was like, when they came out, I was like, okay, I'll accept it. But no, either way, it was still great.
But I have to give it to Opal for being so open-minded as to be like, okay, I'm gonna let this person run with this concept and just trust that they know wherever they're going. And then it ended up being really cool and really unique and very Crystal. Like I thought it was like that perfect blend of, they don't look exactly the same, but they also look very much like they're part of Crystal's family, you know?
Yeah. Did you notice that they were like literally the same person?
Yes. Oh my god.
Like
I was
Crystal
like,
does this and then she does that and they're like
they
doing this
sound
together.
the same.
I was like, oh my god, they sound the same. It was just like if I had my eyes closed, they were sound back to back. I was like, oh my god, this is so crazy.
And I feel like I feel like I've seen Opal like at shows. Like I feel like I've seen her at Mickey's. I feel like I've seen her at Long Beach Hamburger Mary's. Like she looks so familiar. So I loved their look. And I know Mark, you must have just like loved the look. The Bert and Ernie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please take. I loved it so much. It was
Totally.
so fun. And you could tell Opal was having like the time of her life during her lip sync and embodying that lip sync. Like it was so fun to watch. Like definitely my personal favorite of the week was Crystal
Opal.
Method and Opal.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Well, I think a lot of times too, when people get asked to do the makeover challenge, I think a lot of people agree to do it just because they want to be on TV. So I think the fact that these were people that genuinely love the show, that genuinely enjoy the show, and they didn't know they were going to be on TV is kind of what made it so great, is because they weren't prepared. They weren't like, oh, I'm going to say this. I'm going to make sure, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
it was just raw, and they were there. And again, too, and they know.
So pretty much the opposite of Nico Tortorella.
Yeah.
It's Nico Tortellini.
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, but okay,
Yeah,
last thing I'll
I
say,
did.
because sorry.
Oh, she is cackling.
No, I'm just being a little shady, but it's like all in good fun. Crap, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I'm so sad.
It's all right.
I just also love the fact that like Opal came there and taught the Wonder Woman pose to Crystal, and then Opal got nervous, and then Crystal like reminded Opal of the Wonder Woman pose, and so I thought that was so endearing and like that was genuine. That's a genuine moment that the producers didn't say. You know, Jayla, we always hop on this show, you know. But like it was really, this felt so human to me, you know. So I just really loved that moment. It stood out to me.
Yeah.
The next was Sherry Pie and Tiramisu. I thought those names were cute. I will give it to all the people doing the naming in this episode. I'm loving all of these names.
All the people.
All the guests doing their names.
I can't.
Obviously it looked really like polished, and my only problem is they looked exactly the same.
Right.
I like to have some kind of like similarity, but not like, oh, you're my twin, you know.
I thoroughly enjoyed it on an artistic, theatrical level.
Yeah.
I found myself guilty at home going, oh, you know, oh.
At one point,
should I clap?
Yeah.
At one point, you didn't know which one was which. Like when they zoomed out, I was like, wait, Janet, no, Tiramisu. Like they looked so. I'm glad that you brought that up, Jackie. They looked so similar. You saw Sherry Pie's makeup on Janet, and it was like hard to distinguish. Like if they weren't wearing the outfits, you would have like which one's which.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the theatrics. I love that they had the concept. It was, and Tiramisu, that's like the perfect name.
And then Gigi Good and BB Bad. I liked the concept of like, here's a good version of me and a bad version of me, but I just thought it was like pedestrian the way that they did it. It was like, okay, I'm wearing white and you're wearing black, and I was expecting some sort of like reveal to happen where like Gigi had like an angel suit, and then the other girl had like a devil suit or something, and I'm like, nope, they're just wearing that. Okay.
For the record, Gigi's in the bottom.
In this episode.
I mean, if we have 6 left and there were 3 in the top, I'm sorry, she was in the bottom. And they can sugarcoat it and they can make it and go, oh, well, it seems safe, da-da-da. No, you're in the bottom. And for the record, if you need to save this clip and send it out, do it. She was in the bottom. It was an easy out. And Crystal said it. You made a pretty girl pretty.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, that's not what this is about. This isn't about you know, and you're going to sit in your confessional and say, safe isn't going to fly with me. I want to be back on the top. This isn't it. This isn't it. And you clearly, and she even says, oh, I thought it was going to be my mom. We made these outfits for each other, blah, 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 this and that. Like she thought she had this all figured out. Sorry, girl.
You're not lip syncing for some reason.
Well, what is the chat saying right now about Gigi? Because you know they are heated. Probably.
They're agreeing. They're agreeing.
Says Gigi didn't do anything. Gigi should have been in the bottom. Thank you, Mark.
You know, it reminded me a lot of All Stars 2 a little bit. Remember the makeover challenge there? It was like Alaska and her mom, right? It was black and white, kind of like the Mae West look. So that's what it, obviously this was a different outfit, but it was black and white. So I was like, oh, when I saw Gigi and BB, this is going to be not a winner. This might be in the bottom for sure, because that just like was very similar. I feel like Alaska was in the bottom too, because it was just so simple and it wasn't like innovative like some of the other looks this week.
And for someone who makes costumes, I would expect that person to have made something a little bit more interesting, you know? I mean, that's what I was expecting. I was like let down because I was like, here's someone who makes costumes and she's just coming out wearing a fuzzy. Like,
yeah.
I'm out of this one. I'm out of the frame. So when they start shooting, when Gigi's fans start shooting, girl, I'm ducking. Girl.
I did remember what I was.
The girls have it today.
I did remember something I was going to say earlier. Honey Aphrodite. I forgot what her real name is.
Nicole.
No, Almighty. Honey Almighty.
Honey Almighty. When she had the, like, what she called the Lion King makeup on, I didn't actually know that. I didn't know you paint it and then let it set. Like, I just, like, because I've seen queens do it and then they start blending immediately. But for her, she painted it like that and then let it set. And she was like, wait, what is this? And I was like, isn't she going to blend it right now? And then, so that I learned something new. I liked that.
You're on Celebrity Drag Race.
That was on Celebrity Drag Race.
Celebrity.
Yes, she's in the cooking wine again, y'all.
No, wait. Lonnie Love said that, right? Or something?
Yeah, it's Lonnie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Show.
You guys, I'm so sorry. It's like 100 balls degrees in here, and I can't.
I know. I'm like trying not to like melt either. So I get
my brain is cooking, and I've blent these two shows together. I'm so sorry.
Well,
it's okay. I was like, wait a minute, that was the other
it's
show.
fine. It's 3. We have 3 hours of Drag Race. It's a lot to take in.
In the words of Gia Gunn, once you've seen one, haven't you seen it all? So yeah, don't feel bad. Toots, we're all confused.
I'll bring it up again in an hour.
Yeah, it's okay. With our secret celebrity guest.
So the lip sync. So we had the lip sync with all the super fans, and then Heidi and Jacque ended up being in the bottom. And this was actually the lip sync between them two was my favorite one this season. So I was really glad that no one went home, because I was going to be so mad if one of them did, because I thought they did both such a good job.
It was a good lip sync for sure.
I was waiting for one of the people in the backstage to do like Manila's boyfriend when he found out she has eliminated and she just slides out the chair. Like I was waiting for that moment to happen.
I know, because you feel bad. You're like, oh, I don't want either of them to go home, because then their partner, their drag family member is gonna feel so sad. Like, oh, I let you down. Even little Snacky Cox and Untucked, I was like, oh God, don't cry. Don't cry. It wasn't you. It was Jacque for putting you in that outfit. I'm really happy in the makeover episode. Like usually someone goes home. I feel like this is like the first time no one went home in the makeover episode. So I was
it's
really
to
happy.
be more lighthearted and to take the, you know.
Especially, can you imagine as a fan having sent one of the drag queens home? You would just feel so bad. Like it's
bad about yourself.
It's different if it's like your mom or something like that, because then your parents like, oh well, you know,
get over it, Toots.
Right. but or like a sibling or something. But when it's a super fan, they're like, I ruined the show, you know. So I'm really glad that nobody went home.
We didn't discuss the lip sync between the super fans.
Yes. What did you guys think of the lip sync between the super fans?
Opal killed it.
Opal did kill
killed
it.
Totally.
Opal did kill it.
Yeah.
And
Sean
I
Hayes
wasn't. I wasn't really judging them. I was just like clapping along.
Again,
Yeah.
I think it was just so great. Like World of Wonder and VH1 said, "Hey, you guys, we're gonna give you this little gift. We're gonna let you perform on this stage in drag." And every single one of them, like, I wish season 13, 14, 15, 16 queens, watch those girls. Don't forget why you're there. Don't forget the excitement and how exciting it is to be there, to be on that stage, because they just showed you how to do that.
Yes.
Because they were just having a good time, you know. It's like, I also think though that it helps knowing that you're just there to lip sync to have a good time, because when you're lip syncing for your life, you're like, oh my God, so many things are going through your head, I imagine.
They were more energetic than some of the queens on the show. Like Nikki Doll, I'm sorry, girl, I love you. But
that's my girl.
I know, but like her lip syncs, girl. Energy, and like that's what they brought.
Lip queen.
I love Nikki. Don't get me wrong, but gotta step up that energy. Dahlia. Yeah, it's like
this is like the first episode we didn't see her as a broccoli.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Oh my God, you're so right.
I definitely thought Jacque overthought the song. Like her analysis of the song and how she was gonna do it, I was like, girl, just freaking perform the song.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm down for it. I was down.
Don't get me wrong, I'm glad they were both there. I'm glad they were both saved.
Any last thoughts before we go to fan of the week and quote of the week?
Did you say fan?
Yes. Come on, Drag Walk. Come on, Drag Walk. Well, I do have some last thoughts. If I was Heidi, girl, it wouldn't have been no double save. She had those wings and she was doing all of this. I would have wrapped her ass up for that thing and tossed her out of there and spin her ass, sitting her ass home. Heidi had all of the weapons, and I would have just Mortal Kombat her ass all the way to the top 5, girl. I don't know.
Fatality.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been a double
Finish
save.
her.
There would have been no one to save, because I would have been like,
I love it.
there would have been no one to save. I was like, windmill, but it's okay. I'm glad they both stayed. It was great. I mean, hey, if you got the weapons, use them.
So, fans of the week, Carol Ann and Capollorod. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Capollorod. Congratulations. You're the fans of the week.
Yeah.
For your comments.
And what were the comments?
Oh, girl, I don't remember. I wrote this a week ago.
Girl,
I'm sure they were lovely.
I think there was something nice about how gorgeous I look. And
it was.
Okay, that's all. That's all that matters.
It was like, Jayla's gorgeous. Mark is awesome. Love Ollie's hair. Jackie's there sometimes.
I love it.
So, Mark, what was the quote of the week?
A lot of options this week. I have to give an honorable mention to Rue when Opal says, "I can't stop smiling," and Rue says, "It's because it's painted on your face." I literally laugh every time I see that. But I'm gonna give it to, I think, yet again, Heidi, when
Confessional Queen.
When she gets done painting Honey, and she says, "Girl, you look better than I do half the season. Girl, get in the corner and think about what you just did."
She has such a cute voice. Like, she has such a very like sweet and melodic voice that it's so like that her delivery of things is so endearing.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that she played the season, because she's what we need to get through this quarantine. She is hilarious as hell. So kudos to Heidi. And I feel like once it lets up, Heidi, girl, pack your bags, because you're going to be on tour. They're going to be wanting you all over the place. So you better get ready, girl. They want you.
They want to get in the gap.
They want to get in the gap, girl.
They want to get in the
tour.
closet. They want to get in the closet with her.
Yeah, in the closet tour. And I'll take my 25%.
So news and gossip. I have my own little plug. This is my shirt. I don't know if you can see it. Yep. So a friend of mine is part of a tour company in New Orleans, and because of the pandemic, the tour guides aren't allowed to give tours, and they're also exempt from getting any sort of like local money or help or anything like that. So my friend's company is selling t-shirts. This is going on, I believe, until the 4th or the 6th. Just do it today. If you want a shirt, buy a shirt today so you can help tour guides, because a portion of the money goes to buying tour guides. And I will put up a link on Instagram so that you can go and buy a shirt.
Yes, is that a shirt you're wearing right now?
Yeah, this is the shirt.
Yes. Come on, show us your boobs. Girl, show us what that New Orleans is all about, girl.
All right. I got a flash for them beads.
Okay, right.
And then there's Digital DragCon, which Jayla was mentioning.
Slightly. Has anybody gone?
I have not.
I see the clips.
Yeah.
The clips are cute.
They're available on YouTube. Cute. Yeah, the first day
World of
is
Wonders.
on
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. I also got a chance to see some of the amazing Work the World online tour that they had, and it was so amazing. And we got some cameos from a whole bunch of other queens, and it was great. They turned it out, y'all. Like they ended up doing it at the Globe Theater, so it was like heavily produced and tour. So I felt like I was in my I feel like I got my little ticket or whatever and watched it on my TV, and I had a great time there. Aww. So I was thumping around my apartment, so I probably got a letter on my door because I was having too much fun.
No comment.
I was gonna give a plug out to it was funny because I was waiting to do this, so I was going through Instagram and stuff like that, and I forgot one of my she's my drag daughter, I guess. I mean, she kind of it's from when I lived in Columbus. She's kind of worked with Nina and Virginia most of the time, so she's kind of more with them than I didn't really do much to help her. But she does have the Love name. Her name's Anissa Love. Follow her on Instagram, Anissa Love 2020. It's ANISA, Anissa Love 2020. She does church. It's called Church on Sundays, and she does strippers. Yes. So if you're looking for something to do before we start, she does her show right before our show. So go live on her Instagram, follow Anissa Love 2020, and tell her that her drag mother Lorraine sent you.
Yes, I have a quick plug for Jayla.
Yes,
remedy.
Oh,
no.
You can do it. Go ahead.
Well, no, you take it away.
Go ahead. No, I want you to.
No. Remedy TV, right? It's the first streaming platform for queer people of color. So I just want to shout you out because I think that's awesome. You're just killing it, even in quarantine. So just
even in quarantine.
So subscribe to Remedy TV.
It's going to be available on all streaming platforms coming soon. Hopefully by the end of this year, because quarantine put a pause on everything. But yes, Remedy TV is the first PLC-led LGBT streaming service with all original content with some of your favorite Drag Race stars, celebrities, and icons that we all know and love. So I'm excited. I'm eating ramen noodles and ice soup, girl, but we're going to make it happen.
Yes.
Well, so Jayla doesn't have to do that. Then you buy her makeup.
Yeah, okay, make something happen. Because, I mean, look at Jacque. She looks good. Look at me. I look good,
I love Jayla's makeup. It doesn't sweat off.
Thank you.
It doesn't sweat off.
And it's vegan. It's good for our environment.
Mm-hmm. It's literally the only thing keeping my face from sweating because, girl, under my boobs, it's like.
Oh, well, girl, you gonna sell those New Orleans shirts?
Did we lose her?
No, I'm right here.
Oh, no. Okay.
There we go.
I made Jayla fall. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Right after this, we have Secret Celebrity Drag Race with our own secret celebrity joining us, a secret AfterBuzz celebrity. So you can find me 123 Jackie B on all platforms. Jayla, where can the people find you?
Next to an AC because it's super hot. Follow me on Instagram at Who Is Jayla Roxx. It's 2X's3 if you nasty.
Mark, where can the people find you?
You can find me, the Mark J. Freeman, on Instagram and Twitter. Or if you want to follow my lavish drag life, which is like one performance a year, you can follow Lorraine Love, LORAYNE LOVE. And Ollie, where can they find you?
Well, at first, I hope we see Lorraine at the finale. But you can follow me.
Yes.
Follow me on Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter at Ollie Dreamer.
So
Well,
Thank
I
you
will
guys
say
for
this. I will say this. I did buy some new makeup, so
Oh, okay.
she's getting the itch. She's getting the itch.
She's getting the edge. You're gonna snatch it back.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you hopefully in a couple minutes.
Yes.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.